Hi, raindrops. All right, so who would I know I'm 8 minutes late. I'm sorry. A lot has been going on. Not to get their talking point. First of all, let's have a real conversation. Dustin, Claudia, and I do not prep what we're going to talk about. We actually, I literally have no idea what they're about to say. So we don't, oh, my No Ray fans. Hey, Sharon and baby. We have no idea what we're going to say, but no, listen, I have a lot going on. I am feeding y'all some great content. I have an exclusive interview dropping tomorrow. I have an exclusive dropping out tomorrow. The way we came out before you. I know. And I'm moving into my new spot. This short-term rental was cute, but I'm moving into my new spot. I had to get my internet installed today. I got a haircut today. I'm doing another. A lot is going on, but not more than what was going on last night. Bada bang, boom, boom. I'm here all night. Okay, so let's do some pleasantries really fast, some shout outs, and then I'm gonna bring on Claudia and Dustin, who I have been having the best time with, and I know you guys have been too. Mr. Brian has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mr. Brian. Who is calling me, child? Guess who's calling me? All the girls call me, honey. Not answer it. Y'all get a glimpse into my real life. I literally, y'all like Carlos answer the phone. I am not going to answer the phone. Hold on. Let me let her know I'm not picking up because I'm on live. Oh my God, this is so funny. Hold on, guys. um, what? What? Why are you calling me Claudia? That's Claudia. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do anymore. Okay, so look, one of the things. Hi, y'all. So we have 1,000 people in the chat. So look, this is my life, and I love all the girls. And what y'all can see in real life is all the girls love me, regardless what y'all want to believe about me. And all the girls love me. It is what it is. So just know that. So anyways, Carlos, my saddest have been boring without you. What's the tea on love and marriage, DC? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay. But next, wait, no, this Saturday. But this Saturday, Love and Marriage Detroit comes back. Love and Marriage Detroit comes back this Saturday. Okay. We got the rest of the season, episode 6 on. I try so hard not to get in trouble by telling y'all so much. So there you go. And then we have Dr. Heavenly joining us tonight. Dr. Heavenly is joining Claudia. Dustin and I to talk about part 3 of Married to Medicine. So that's going to be fun. Okay. So, anyways, let me break on my guest. We're going to talk about Married to Medicine Part 3 reunion with Dr. Heavenly. And we are going to get into last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. But first thing first, let me bring on my guest. Oh gosh, we have so much to catch up on. I love being live with you guys. It sometimes terrifies me. Not a long night, chat. I had a long night last night. Boom! I'm here all night. Hey, Dustin. So let's bring on the one, the only Dustin Ross.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I've been waiting for tonight. When I tell you I feel like Jennifer Lopez waiting for tonight. Okay. I've been waiting. God damn it. What's up, Los? How you doing? You look good. That white is clean. I don't see a spot, a speck, nothing. That's money, nigga. That's right. You stay clean. Soft hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Carlos, shake your hand so soft and hard at the same time. Slide right over your finger.
Do I really?
Money, nigga. Hell yeah. What's up, chat? Tell the chat what's up. I'm getting love in the chat. I fuck with y'all. What's up, y'all?
They love you, Dustin. They really do.
Too. That's why I stay out y'all business. I don't be in the comments. I fuck with y'all. What's up?
So, Dustin, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Shout out to my girl and yours, Cynthia Bailey, and Claudia's girl, Cynthia Bailey. Of course, my friend hit me and told me to bring my ass up to watch What Happens Live, to kick it with her while she tapes. So we had a great time, man, and had a great weekend otherwise, man. Just been working. You know me, I'm happiest when I'm working, Los. You know that. So I know that. I was in a work cocoon all weekend. I feel good, though. How was your weekend, bro?
It was good. A lot of great things happened this weekend, and yeah, I am enjoying. I'm enjoying my weekends.
That's what's up. Yeah, you definitely got some. Bring Claudia up here so we could talk about your.
The last thing I need is Claudia to be in my business.
Yeah. Bring my girl up here.
There she goes. I'm so jealous.
The woman who needs no introduction, apparently.
I'm so jealous. Everyone's getting some except me. Carlos, you look like you've been worn out all weekend. Look at that happy smile.
Yeah.
So happy. I love it. Hey, y'all. I miss y'all. This is going to be a great show. Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carlos, you do look like you've been juicing. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on? You look good, Carlos.
Getting all those nutrients, huh? Proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Vitamin D.
Juices and definitely some berries. Definitely juices and berries. So, you know, we see you. We speak your name, and somebody else did too, apparently.
Oh, Dustin. I mean, look, my name is Carlos in the streets, but no, I'm teasing. But Claudia and Dustin, how was y'all weekend? Did y'all see anything that was like, you know, elongated?
No. Not yet.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. I'm wasting all this good. Like, listen.
You fine as shit, Claudia. I know they ringing your bell.
Gorgeous.
Well, I know for a fact they are, but I
don't know if it's because I've got, when you go too long being like kind of without or single, you're kind of like, meh.
No.
Like at the beginning, it's like you don't think you can go that long without it. But the more time it goes by, and I don't want to get to that era where like our parents got like, you know, you look at your mom, you're like, oh, you know, your mom ain't salivated or wanted it in a long time. I don't want to get there. So I gotta open up. I gotta be more open to dating. I don't really like anyone though. It's so hard for me because as soon as they talk, sometimes I'd be like, damn, you dumb.
They so corny. I've been watching that Pop the Balloon shit on Netflix. I love the host Arlette. I'm fascinated with her. But I've been watching that, and these niggas really are dumb out here today, for real. As a nigga myself, they are dumb for real out here because some of the answers and perspectives and outfits and shit is really something. I'm late. I know I'm mad late to the party, but I've been
That's
watching.
okay.
Yeah.
I was in LA this weekend. I was on stage with Demetria again and the rest of the cast of the place.
Yes.
We did LA, Oakland. We just arrived in Detroit, your hometown, this
Word
morning.
up.
And we
Yes, the D.
yeah, so we're gonna go. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we go to Columbus, Ohio on Sunday for games. Women play. Get your tickets. Really great show. And the LA crowd, I thought they'd be bougie and not really give much because, like, you know, it's not like the South where they do talk backs in the audience. Man, when I tell you, LA was so lit. Shout out to Teacher Campbell that came through, Kyla Pratt, a bunch of people in the audience. Kyle Bentley Evans, huge producer. It was a great audience. Everybody, Shanice looked so beautiful. Came to support her husband Flex. So just great energy too. So we had a good time.
I love good energy, and that's the reason why our next guest, Claudia and Dustin, is here, because we are here to recap, first and foremost, part 3, and maybe overall the season of the amazing Married to Medicine. So boobies and raindrops, give it up for my personal friend, my love, my real dentist in real life. Give a warm welcome to the one, the only Dr. Heavenly.
Carlos, just call me Respucia. That's what you call me. How you doing?
What's up, Heavenly?
What's up, Dr.
Claudia,
Heavenly?
how are you? Hey, Dustin, how are you?
Good.
Everybody doing good? You look beautiful today, Claudia.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a minute.
I heard that you said that you just dried up. You hadn't had none in a while or something.
Yeah, I'm on strike until these niggas get it together. I can't just.
Oh, that's right.
You ain't about to come mess up my pH levels and have bad credit. I need you to be the whole package. I need a good. I'm not settling because my
pH is it out there though for a beautiful, prominent, successful woman, Black woman? Is it difficult finding a good guy?
Well, a lot of them don't want to, like, their 40s and 50s, but they still act very young and immature, want to date too many people, still afraid of commitment. I'm like, nigga, you in the 4th quarter. What are you waiting on?
Right.
So, but someone did send me 2 dozen roses to my dressing room in LA when I was at the play.
Oh, that's
well, you buried the lead.
Do you mind taking care of them? Like some of the people on our show take care of their men. Is that okay?
I did that in the 90s and the 2000s. I used to buy men rims and all. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it.
Well, all right, then. Okay, all right. Then she says she's not doing it. Okay.
No, I want to be a gold digger now because I've never been one. So it's time. It's my time.
It's time. It's okay. It's okay. That's good. That's good to be.
But this is what I think. This is me being very honest. I think you should experience dating a younger man.
Or at least at your race. Have you been at your race?
One time in college and I did not like it.
One time in college.
One time in college. He was such a little hoe. Like, just crying.
Yeah, once you go Black, you can't go back. Things are different. Things are very different.
But no, but I think, listen, I think you should try younger men. You know, as somebody over 40, I would say I've had the most fun.
We know.
With younger, I think, listen, this is my opinion, Dustin. I would love you to chime in too.
Okay.
This is my experience. I would say dating guys in their 30s have been super fun, super interesting. It's super lit. I don't know what I've been doing my whole life. I should have dated younger. I love me a man in their 30s. I do. Really? Early 30s at that. I love it. They're great. It's amazing. Dustin, do you agree? Disagree? I mean,
well, I definitely agree. I'm at a particular station in life. I'm 42 years old. My birthday is actually Thursday. I'll be 43 years old. Like Nene said, I'll be 43 to be exact. And you know, I'm at I'm like a swing state. I can go either way. You know what I'm saying? I can go younger into my 30s. You know what I'm into their 30s rather. I can go a little older. You know what I'm saying? Hit 50. You know what I'm saying? As long as a nigga is active and ambitious and driven and it can stand up for themselves and you know, like that, like me. You know what I'm saying? And not a Republican, not MAGA. Then we can talk. You know what I mean? So I can go either way.
As long as they're smart. Like I have one thing I have no patience for, no matter how fine they are, is stupid people. And that goes for my female friends in my circle and men around me. I can't do dumb people. I can't do dumb. So I'm never going to get along. Like, they could be fine as hell, but if I can't do dumb. So
Speaking of dumb.
Yes,
No,
let's get into it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Come
kidding.
on, Heavenly, give us the
Go back
shady.
to Married to Medicine. Speak of dumb. No. I'm
Give us
just
the
kidding.
shady
Yes.
segue, Heavenly. I know you
Yes,
was right.
yes,
Come
yes.
on.
So let's get into this season of Married to Medicine. Dr. Heavenly, as you know, I've always said this. I think it's the best show on Bravo that people aren't watching. And the good thing is this: I have to take that back. I'm going to take it back because people are actually watching it and loving it. And we're not here to talk about who's the reason for it because we're not shady like that. But I will say, Married to Medicine reunion. These 3-part reunions to me is probably the best reunion. And Dustin, I'd love to get your thoughts because Dustin is also a huge Married to Medicine fan.
Day one,
Heavenly,
season 1. I saw you
he's day
standing
one.
by that pool, Dr. Heavenly. I saw you in the
You saw
background
me.
when they
I
was
was
fighting.
shocked that they were fighting.
Yep.
I never thought that would happen. I
Yep,
never
I
thought that would
remember
happen.
that.
Mhm.
So I want to get right into it, Dr. Heavenly. So we got to start off hot. We got to start off with Dr. Simone and Quad. So last week, Claudia, Dustin, and I, we did touch on this. In this part 3 reunion, it was the continuation of Simone and Quad. One thing that I saw you do, you sat there and you minded your business, and I was very proud of you for not getting involved. Like, this has nothing to do with me. But Simone spoke to Jackie. Jackie kicked some folks out. She said, I only want to talk to Simone by myself. I want to touch on this. Simone's grievance at that time when Dr. Jackie was talking to her, she said that Quad made it appear that she cared about what was going on with her father, but she only did that for the cameras. And she never once texted her when the cameras were off as they related to her father. Did you know that Dr. Simone felt that way? And do you believe that's the real reason why she wanted to cuss out Quad in the green room?
First part, I do not believe that to be truth. Basically, you know what I mean? Everything's alleged. And, you know, we looking at this stuff, Claudia, you know, we looking at it from different points of view, and we hear a lot of different things from a lot of different people. I do feel like Quad did reach out to her off camera. She said she did. I'm almost positive she did, but I can't be for sure because that was such a long time ago. Probably season, 4, 5, 6, something like that. But I didn't understand all the anger. Like, why now? Why today lose your voice and screaming at Quad because she gave us her ass to kiss? Now, I will say this. Everybody was mad at Quad during Napa. Quad did give us her ass to kiss. When she thought it was going to be freaking frack, she stopped calling me. I said, let's see how this shit work for you. I'm saying Quad dissed us. And, you know, she said to the people, and they had it on camera, they showed us, she said she didn't have an emotional attachment to any of us, except maybe Simone. And it was so heartbreaking for Simone. It was the one that pushed her out. I think that Simone is having a lot of feelings. I think that she's feeling a lot of resentment, probably remorse, a lot of things. And I do feel like Simone is in her feelings about different friendship groups. It might sound petty. You could say it's petty, but people are people and they feel how they feel. I think that Simone, threefold, she was upset that Quad kept saying, you know, y'all did this to me. Y'all did this to me, whatever. So Simone doesn't like that for whatever reason. I think that Simone was upset because Jackie and Quad are very good friends now. And in fact, Jackie's going to help her with her baby. I think that she may be feeling something about what she did say about Quad during the reunion, which she got a good edit. You know, y'all get mad when I say edit, but their edit is a real thing. What she said to Simone about the tragedy that happened in her house was much worse than what they showed. So she had to feel some kind of way. The problem was when she said karma, Quad was already still not getting over what she said last reunion. So when she said Quad lost it and she was like, fuck you, you a dirty bitch and this, that, and the other. And I saw why Quad got upset because I talk to her every day. That's why. But I don't talk to Simone, so I don't know how she's feeling. But I still don't understand why she got so upset and started losing her voice and screaming. And you know, just like I know, they water our stuff down. So if it looked bad there, it was 10 times worse in actuality. I just sat my ignorant ass down because I didn't know who to run to, what to do. You know what I'm saying? And I was just glad it wasn't me and some shit. So I just sat down.
Do you think the parts that they cut out, like, and that does frustrate you, right? When it's like, it's level 10, they don't see it. And then they don't really understand some of the responses. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, well, why was you so? And you're like, well, you didn't hear this motherfucker said this other stuff that didn't make it. And now I look a little bit cray-cray.
Right.
Was it that level of stuff left out?
Yes, always. And to me, they play it sometimes when you're wrong, they show it that you're right. And that'll piss the other person off
Yeah.
more. Or vice versa. So sometimes when I do some shit and I ain't did nothing, they make me look really, really bad. But then sometimes I did do some shit and they kind of water it down and it don't look like. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad because, they play it, but it does keep the people upset. You know what I'm saying?
That fight between Dr. Simone and Quad felt misaligned, to say the least. As a day one, season one viewer, I feel like you can't really start a story in the middle. You kind of got to go back to the origin story. Quad definitely did give y'all her ass to kiss when she was hosting Sister Circle at that time, but there was a lot of shit that happened before that. Let's take it back to when Quad and Dr. G got divorced, and Toya said she didn't want Quad to come on the couples trip and be single around y'all husbands like that. And Simone was running right over there in cahoots with her. There was a lot of things that have added up or compiled, this bucket of feelings between the two ladies. Dr. Simone lost control and she had a very bad attitude when they were speaking, when you all were having that conversation backstage. I'm a person who remembers when you all refer to yourselves as the Fab Five. It was you, Toya, Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Contessa. We like that. We like that sort of camaraderie. If you had infighting, there was resolution. Hopefully, we can get back to that. Simone had a bad attitude, like I said, and Quad actually was more open to reason and logic and resolve this reunion than I've ever seen her on the show. Quad was nicer than I've ever seen her on the show this season, this reunion. And there was an opportunity. She kept leaving the door open for a resolution, a solution of some sort. Dr. Simone was resistant to that, and she kept talking shit. She kept saying things to try to goad Quad or whoever else was on the other end of the conversation into an argument or a confrontation of some sorts. When Dr. Jackie, looking beautiful in that Harbison studio gown, shout out to Charles Harbison who designed that, when she threw Sweet Tea's ass out of that dressing room so she could have a heart-to-heart with Dr. Simone, that was incredible. That was real. They have years of history, and she was able to try at least to get somewhere and make inroads with Dr. Simone in a hot moment like that. Sweet Tea was coming back there to talk shit and have her lips apart and let the air flow through. That's all she does. So it was unnecessary, and her presence on that cast this season, in addition to Phaedra being there, in addition to you calling Apollo and bringing him and Shireen there, it was a bunch of things that it didn't belong. And it threw the whole viewing experience off for us that love the show, really fuck with y'all, really want to see seasons 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and into forever go on. So
I love that you're a true fan and you watched the show since inception. But if you were a true fan, you would realize that I ain't called damn nobody. Phaedra asked, let me hush. Let me hush. That's a whole nother thing. I ain't have nothing to do with that. Them people, and I told Phaedra, and she knew that. Anyway, I'm gonna move on because because my whole thing is I would never put somebody in that position without them knowing. That's the part I can't take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I said something to Curtis or Cecil or whatever, I told Simone. And I know I'm cutting the fourth wall and all that, but I just couldn't take that part because it was too far. It was too far for me to call people. I would have never done that.
Because you literally had a conversation with Phaedra on camera about inviting Apollo on the trip. So I didn't understand what people were confused about regarding that.
Yeah.
You asked her, you told her he was coming. The Shireen piece was new, according to what
we didn't know Shireen was coming. He brought Shireen because,
So what were people confused about? I never understood that.
Well, no, he was never supposed to bring Shireen. Shireen, it was an understanding they had on camera and off that she was not to come. They said it was no funny business. Mm-hmm. Then when he found out that she was bringing his best friend, one of his good friends, they had Thanksgiving dinner, who was Shaq. They knew each other. Some kind of way Apollo found out.
Start on that even all of that. You want to talk about cheapening a brand, cheapening a show?
Well, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was the people that came on to cheapen it because I would have never done that.
Exactly. That's why we haven't seen those sort of antics until Phaedra came around.
I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it. I like everything about it. I ain't scared, but ain't nobody got time for that shit. Ain't nobody got time for somebody ruin their life. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. That's why I'm glad she gone. We gonna thank God for her. She got in her private jet and she gone, baby. We gonna let her go.
Who got a private jet?
Phaedra. You know, of course, production did it, but she had a private jet, so she left that damn. See, Claudia ain't watching the show.
No,
what I'm saying to you, Destiny, is give people grace on this show because a lot of shit y'all don't know, y'all don't see. You know what I'm saying? And the
Well
people
done.
agree
We do.
to it
We
to
definitely
happen.
give people grace.
So
No,
my whole
Dustin
thing is that's
does.
what I'm saying, and that's why I'm such a good friend with Jackie, a good friend with Simone on certain
Yeah.
occasions, a good friend with Qua, because the people know my heart. There's some shit I would never do. Now my reads be lethal, but trust and believe, when I have a lethal read, they came at me first. If you say my mama was in hell, I feel like I can say whatever I want to you. If you say my kids don't like me and my man is cheating on me, I can say what the fuck I want to you. If you say something about my anything, I can say, I feel like certain things happen and I can respond to them. If you call me Respucia, bitch, I'm just going to respond to the first thing I see, and that's your damn separated ass titties. That's what I'm going to say because I don't
let's
have
talk
reverse
about
reach.
that. Let's talk about that. You
Right.
called Dr. Contessa's teeth biracial. Claudia is biracial. So I need to know
Oh, you offended? I'm sorry, Claudia.
No,
I didn't mean
no.
I don't even call myself biracial. I'm black, but they want to tell me that I'm not.
Heavily,
I know.
Heavily, this is me teasing. But no, when you said her teeth were biracial, and when you talked about the things with Contessa, can you take us back to that moment? Because what happened between you and Contessa? We really understood you two to have a great friendship. I love Dr. Contessa. I think she's great for the show. I also said on my platform that I love you, Contessa. I did feel on the trip it was too much going on that I didn't recognize Contessa at that time, right? But at the reunion, Scott was quiet. What was going on that we didn't see as related to like Contessa, you getting into it, and Scott not saying much?
Well, I have to go back just a little bit. Contessa came in with a vengeance for me. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was 2 or 3 years old. We had gotten over it. It was about my YouTube or whatever. Y'all, we can go backwards. You could say I was wrong for saying it, but she knew I was saying it when she was leaving. She came in, she kept throwing shots at me all season long. And then when I responded, because a lot of times I didn't respond, they said it went too low. You know what I'm saying? For example, she said my husband was cheating on me. He had biracial kids. He got kids with the last name of Kimes. Just stupid shit. So when you say things like, okay, your kids don't like you or whatever, fuck, bitch, your mama don't like you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the shit I say is not deeper than where they go. I think that people believe that because Dr. Heavenly does not show emotions, that she's inhuman. If you say my mama in hell, I say what the fuck I want to you. You know what I'm saying? If you say something about my children, I will say the fuck what I want to you, and you don't have a rebuttal. So if you sit up on TV, and it was funny then, I thought it was funny. You call me Respucia trying to say I'm fat when I'm not. I could talk about your titties. We talking about appearance. When I said her titties were separated, she started ready to cry, talking about she had a double mastectomy. Now, first of all, the bitch never had breast cancer, right? And I will say this to try to make it seem right. And I ain't never had heart disease or all those things that being fat can cause you to have, because I've had a lap band surgery. We both have had surgeries, and we both have had reconstructive surgery. So, bitch, where you going? If you call me Respucia, I can call your titties separated, because clearly one of them's a lie because I ain't big, but you can't be mad that I responded. Leave me alone. Y'all, if y'all don't want my reads, I don't have rehearsed reads, Claudia. I don't rehearse reads like the people that you used to be on the show with. I don't have that. So maybe I should, and I wouldn't go, you know what I'm saying? But the first thing that comes to my mind is if you're talking about my appearance, I'm looking at you, and I see what's wrong with you, and that's what a read is. A read is not what Sweet Tea does with untruths. A read is something that's true in the way it's, and then put out in a certain way. And
off the dome, responding in the moment,
right.
off the dome,
so,
and
I
using
don't
their
know.
weaknesses
Y'all
against
say
them.
I'm mean. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I praise God for everything. I hope that everybody's okay. But to me, to talk shit and then when I respond, try to play the victim, to me, I ain't here for that shit, and I lose respect for you when you do it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I did want to have Dustin talk about, because Dustin watches the show as much as I do, is there was a segment that happened on this reunion where your husband got involved, you know, where it was the men. The reason why I love Married to Medicine is because I like shows where it is about couples and the men are able to get involved, because in real life, men do have a voice when it comes to the affairs of their marriage and their friends who are also couples. So Dustin, you want to take it away? We're just talking about like Dr. Damon, Dr. G, and everything that's going on there.
Yeah, that was a very interesting conversation because it echoed, I think, some of the dispositions that we saw when the initial confrontation went down on the beach when you guys were in Florida, right? Key West, right? Dr. Heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dr. G was just, he was being a dickhead. You know, that's the best way I can put it. He
The
was
word I
being the
use is
person
bitch,
who,
but I guess that's not a good word.
yeah, well, he was being a dickhead. He was like just not open to any sort of resolution. He was saying things to try to pick and goad, like I said, King into an argument, standing up on the beach, getting up in King's personal space, and just acting weird, saying weird things that didn't go. He kind of mimicked that same sentiment when they had the men's conversation at the reunion, as Dr. Damon was being very direct with him, very clear, you know, telling him straightforward, this is what happened that made me feel indifferent. This is why I'm upset. Just clearly identifying things. Dr. G started talking about feelings and offering up alternative, you know, meanings for his actions and just saying shit that didn't line up, which is why they stumbled and tumbled until they got to the point where he finally just gave in and said, okay, I apologize. I thought it was interesting that Cecil, who again, I love Simone and Cecil on the show, root for them and their family, but I was disappointed in some of the commentary that Cecil was offering to that conversation as well, because Dr. G didn't need anybody to come to his defense. He was wrong. He went too far trying to bring the police and that kind of serious ass shit into this reality TV space unnecessarily. Save those actions for people and resources, quite literally, for people that deserve and need them. I thought that was less than mature. And he sat there and that high voice, and his shirt was tight around his neck and shit. And he had a rhinestone brooch, and I ain't making it. He was on that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can't, that's like talking to a brick wall. It's impossible to make progress. And as a man, you know what I'm saying? We speak with a purpose. We speak to make progress when we're discussing something, trying to get to the bottom of some shit, especially when you're talking to another grown ass man. So I was very disappointed in Dr. G's behavior. And I think it was just more of the same, more of what the viewers are accustomed to from him. To me, he sped off in that Mini Cooper again, right across the screen as I watched that scene. It was the same old from Dr. G. So shout out to Dr. Damon for standing on business. I was proud of him speaking up for himself and being clear about what was going on and direct with his speech. I appreciated that.
I appreciate it as well. And Damon does not speak up. And you watch the show, Damon don't get in the shit. He does not have an opinion with a lot of things. And I think we have to go back some, because me and Quad are such good friends. We've been hanging out with King. And you got to understand, and I'm not going to go into details, but Damon never really watched the show, never really paid attention. But when he heard all the things that Dr. G, I'm going to say alleged, but I've talked to too many people that saw it, did to Quad. Damon is the type that he would never, you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't understand a man, even if a woman did. And I know a lot of people feel like a woman shouldn't. And, you know, I don't know what's wrong, what happened in that situation. But he feels like it's always wrong to touch a woman, to speak to a woman a certain way, and damn sure to speak to somebody else's woman in a certain way. So there was a lack of respect there for Dr. G based on his behavior. I think what they did not see was that when I made the response, well, I could go back to why I made the response. The girl kept tweeting about me and my business and my practice and all that. And you know, that's my bread and butter. So, you know, in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, she keeps tweeting about my practice, saying derogatory things, saying I'm not respected in the medical community. No, I'm not a real doctor. No. I said, oh, I know how to get this bitch off my back. Let me lay into her husband's ass, right? So then when I laid into her husband, you know, I went too far. Kendrick Lamar had me out the bed. I'm just going to, you know, and it's not a joke because it's really serious. I shouldn't have said the things I said. When Damon caught wind of it, I never told Damon anything. I don't tell him half the shit. He don't tell me half the shit. So I never told Damon what happened, you know, whatever. Greg texted Damon, and he texted him. He said, man, your wife has said some derogatory things about me, but y'all don't never say what your wife did. They never go that far. And he said, based on that, I'm not going to be able to see your patients anymore. Damon cares about his patients. It's not about him. It's not about it's about the patient. So he felt like as a medical professional, you have to be able to take care of your patients no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because they not on the show. They're not in this mess. And for Dr. G to call his patients addicts. Now, mind you, Damon does interventional pain, but he also is board certified in addiction medicine. So a lot of people in the trifecta of Marietta, Roswell, and Marietta, Roswell, and the other city, whatever, they're addicted to a drug called Dilaudid. That's a workman's drug. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it, but Damon takes care of it. Basically, Dr. G was talking about his patients in a derogatory way he felt. And David got upset. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, why don't you just stand up and be a man and say the things you did wrong? And Greg sat there and started lying, saying that he never said he was not going to see the patient. And we know that to be fact because I had the text. I have the same Apple ID as my husband. Claudia, you might want to get the same Apple ID. I can see all his texts. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I posted it because I felt like people needed to know that Damon is a truthful guy. His character stands for itself. You can look at his Google reviews. You can look at other people's Google reviews. People respect and love Damon, and that's why his character means so much to him. And when he felt like he don't give a damn about what Dr. G thinks, but he felt like he was co-signing the negativity on his character. And he felt like the women can do it. But when a man does it, I got a problem with him. And, he said he was a coward for doing those kind of things. But long story short, Damon feels how he feels. I back my man up 100%. And I think he's always been a stand-up guy. And that's why I don't like I know why they do it because I talk cash shit. But my reads are real. They make shit up. That's my opinion. Now, you never know what any man's doing, right? But I ain't never caught or thought my man was ever doing anything wrong. And even if he did, it wouldn't make me know another man because he's such a good damn it man. You know what I'm saying? And I know these hoes wish they had a man like mine. Simone even said it. I wish I had a man like Dr. Damon.
Simone said that?
He said it on camera. Go back. Dustin probably saw it. She said it when we were cooking something. She said, I wish I had a man like that. He's successful. He's educated. He's nice to you. You know what I'm saying? All the things that Cecil's not.
I think Cecil all those things.
Okay. That was her words, not mine.
Oh no! I'm not saying you. I'm saying
right.
I don't remember that.
I mean, Cecil's not a doctor. That's what she said. She said, these are the words she used. She said he's not a doctor. He worked. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think Cecil's a good man, Savannah. I love Cecil.
I like Cecil too. I think he's a nice guy.
I know you didn't say that. I know surround sound Simone did. Hey Simone, happy birthday, congratulations.
And the interesting thing is this. When they say things about my husband, I don't want Cecil to catch any strays because I like him so much.
You just sent a few though. You literally just sent several just now.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not lying.
You don't want him to catch no strays when you the one who's
I hate for him to catch it, but he gonna catch it. When you say some shit about my man, you might gonna catch it.
So there you go. There you go. Say that.
But I say I hate to do it because I really like him as a person.
Yes,
I really like him.
Cecil good. I love Cecil, but I do want to use this opportunity to have you clear a few things up, okay?
Okay, clear it up.
And Claudia's like,
Claudia done been quiet. Let Claudia say it out of this.
Claudia's like, what?
Is she frozen?
No, I just started watching y'all's reunion. Like, I haven't been watching reality TV in a long time. And I just started back up. I've been on the news and the election. So, like, honestly, the Real Housewives, I just came back after like 10 years away from it. Yeah. But when I did watch y'all's reunion, it really intrigued me. Like, I'm going to go back and go watch it all because it sounds very interesting. I did see like y'all really turn up at that with Simone and Quad. And I was like, what is the backstory of this? Because there was a lot of emotion out the gate on that. Like, I really want to go back and watch like a lot of that stuff. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you got it right. So I want to use it while we have you, Dr. Heavenly. Thank you so much for coming on. We're at 6,000 views. Thank you, Dr. Heavenly. You know, I love you. Again, amazing season. I would like for you to use this opportunity to clear a few things up that has been out there. Are you okay for us to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. There's a rumor floating around that your son allegedly got arrested and you had no idea about it and it turned out to be true. Is that the case? What can you tell us about that?
Well, I told you that this afternoon. When it first came out, the people told me that my son was arrested. That scared the shit out of me, right? Mm-hmm. They scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, let me call him. I called all my boys. Now, when you said one got arrested, I knew which one you had to been talking about. So I called that one first. And I said, no, mama ain't, no, I'm doing fine. I'm good. Okay, good. And then so I called my baby boy and I knew he was. So I said, no, I'm good. And I said, it was a lie. It's a lie out there, right? So it's long story short, it kept coming. And then I looked at the thing and I said, damn, they got the right birth certificate and everything. I say, Daddy, do you see what they saying about my baby boy? Do you see what they saying? And Damon looked at it and he said, well, baby, I said, is this some truth to it? Now, when I first saw it, the people said 2025. So I was like, okay, it was years ago. Damon never told me. He handled that shit. And that's why I love him, because he knew I would have been upset. He went down there. He talked to the people. Damon, my son never got charged with anything. It was a big misunderstanding. And Damon took care of it, went down there, talked to them people like he got some damn sense, took care of all of it. It went away, and he never told his wife because he knew his wife would have been upset about it. I love my man. I love my man. He prevented me from getting that because I would have cursed everybody. I went out there like the ignorant mama. You know what I'm saying? Why did you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Y'all not feeling what I'm saying. I would have made it worse. You're not feeling me. Y'all, do anybody here got some kids?
I get
y'all
it.
Don't understand when my heart, I love my children. So if I hear something that was not, you know what I'm saying, right? I would have.
So your man knows you, and he knew if he told you his table's about to get flipped over, you about to act up, y'all about to go crazy.
I mean, I couldn't even go to the games when my babies used to play games and wrestle and shit. I couldn't go because I would be out there on the floor. Don't you touch my damn baby.
Your maid is supposed to be a safety net to stop you from acting up.
I love my kids so much, y'all. All of them, I love them so much, and they also very different, and they need so many different things from me.
And who hasn't got into some shit in their 20s? Like, that's not news to me. Like,
nah, actually, he was like 19. Incident.
Yeah, like he was young, and shit happens, and that's not impactful or determine, you know, it doesn't determine his future or anything like that. So to me, it just was a kind of, I just didn't like to see that brought up.
Yeah, but I don't know who would have got it 3 years later, 3 years later. But anyway, it don't matter. But my whole thing is this. I love my husband. I love how he treats me. I know that everybody's situation is a little bit different, but shit work for us. I've been with my man 32 years. Been married, will be 28 in August. And for me, I really, reality TV, I got tough skin for it. He don't really care for it. He feels like a lot of people on Twitter and stuff like that are cowards that would never say shit to your face. You know what I'm saying? But my thought process is, it's all a part of the game. So Damon's not participating on social media. He's not doing that because he doesn't really respect it. You know what I'm saying? He feels like if somebody gonna say something, say it to their face.
I feel the same way.
And he's just a man's man. That's how he does. So, but I love that he's old school. He's never gonna let me take out the garbage. He that type of man that's gonna make sure the lawn. Well, he can't do the lawn because he's allergic, but he gonna make sure it's done. And we just got gender roles. That's how life works, and it works for us.
No, listen. The fact that I obviously am a product of a mother and a father, and I'm laughing because I have 9 siblings. I'm laughing because one of my siblings got in trouble once, and my father did take care of it, and my mother was kept in the dark. So I'm laughing because that is some. Listen, I like to say this and not take it back. I think that's like some real Black family household shit.
Now I'm thinking, do one of them got a baby that I don't know about? Now, what other shit y'all know that I don't know?
Somebody did.
Right.
Well, I want you to clear up the rumor. So that was one of the rumors. Your son got arrested. Another one is there an outside baby? Because again, this is your floor.
There ain't no outside baby. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what my boy's doing. I really don't. I don't know what the fuck. Like, okay.
Do you have a grandbaby, Dr. Heavenly?
No,
somewhere?
not that I know. Because if I did, I would love that child. I would love. Think about it. My youngest child is 19. If my babies had one, I would love it. They saw some Enfamil on the counter. Damon's allergic to milk, so he does pro soybean for his cereal. Y'all have heard this before. But my whole thing is, I know Damon ain't got no kids. I would say that because a bitch would be on the doorstep trying to get a check. Now these boys, I don't know, they ain't got no kids. No, because I'm so close to them, they would have brought that baby to me. Now I know Laura ain't got none because Dr. Jackie done fixed all of that up. So you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm talking too damn much now. But go ahead.
But does Dr. Damon have a baby outside of you? I want to address everything.
Oh, come on now.
I want you to address it. People, that's what.
No. That to me, that was stupid. Like biracial. Why they had to be biracial, Claudia? Why it got to be like you say the last name count? That mean he went down there signed the birth certificate.
Then why am I in it?
That's right, biracial. But to me, y'all believe anything. I guess the people like to believe shit. My whole thing is, yes. I got access to the money. I don't know who got it, but I got access to the money. I see every account. Like to me, you know what I'm saying? There's no way. No. And my man's a stand-up guy.
What's so funny to me, Dr. Heavenly? Mm-hmm. People are always trying to accuse Dr. Damon of cheating on you, but don't nobody ever ask you if you cheating on Dr. Damon. How you feel about that?
I would never.
Because you always talking about how much you love your man. And
I love my man. I would never.
Smoke screen.
But you know what? That would be a better show. That would be a
Ooh.
better show. Because to me, even if Damon did cheat, it ain't gonna make me
Yeah.
no another man. I'm gonna do what Mariah did when her husband cheated. I'm gonna do what Jackie did when her husband cheated. I'm gonna do
Now
what
see why
Simone
they
did
now
when she
see
had Tammy.
this what they be talking about right
I'm
here.
just saying, that's what I'm doing. But that's
You
who
ain't gotta
I
pull
am.
the street sweeper out every time. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but it is. I'm gonna do the same thing. But if I cheated on Damon, oh my God, I would never do that. But I'm just saying that'll be a different story.
Yeah.
I don't think men can handle it. I think that most men cannot handle it, other than Will Smith or somebody like that.
Well,
Dr. Heavenly.
I'm saying, like,
So
his wife cheated on him, right?
yes, she did
Yeah.
reveal that she had
He had an
entanglement.
Yeah.
entanglement with her son's friend.
That's what she was saying.
Most men
So
are not gonna take that because they can't handle it.
Before I let you go, I do want to ask you this. Part 3 reunion was great. This has been a great season. The biggest question we have for you tonight is, where do you see the cast of Married to Medicine going from here? The cast does seem to be a bit disjointed. I thought, this is my opinion, I'm not biased, and you could tell me if I got this wrong. Based on what I've seen on the show, I did feel Quad this season was very humble. I thought she was humble in terms of really trying to reconnect with the ladies. I did feel that, and that made me feel good. But the Quad and Simone thing, I think is really bad. Where do you see the cast going from here?
First and foremost, I want to tell everybody thank you for watching. It's been an amazing, amazing season, amazing career with Married to Medicine. It's been amazing. I think that the reason our stuff goes deep is because we're real friends. And we even if we're not as close, we've been around each other 10, 12, 11 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's deeper than somebody on a housewife that they're pretending, no offense, Claudia. You know what I'm saying?
I know
They
that
met the bitch yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
deeper. So we have grown to love each other. And I don't think that people will really understand the emotion behind Simone, because at the end of the day, I think she really loves Quad. I think Quad really loves her. You know what I'm saying? Deep down, I think that Contessa really loves me. I think that I love Contessa. But I'm the type of person, everybody a little bit different. That's what I would say. Where do I see us going? I mean, we always say that the group is fractured. I think all we can do is try to do better. You know what I'm saying? I thank you, Dustin, for calling me out, because I do go to astray. That's what I do. That's my flaw. Everybody has them. And I say on my channel all the time, if you have a great friend, Dustin, be generous, because they're going to disappoint you at some point.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do something wrong. If you got a mate in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? They're going to disappoint you at some point, because if you're going to leave that relationship based on 1, 2 things, or even a lot of things, then you're not going to sustain many relationships. You got to know somebody's heart. And one thing I can say for sure is Simone has a great heart. Quad has a great heart. Contessa has a great heart. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's going through things. And we never know what it is, because a lot of people ain't putting shit on camera. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the shit they do, you know what I mean? So give us some grace. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And don't count us out, because I think we're real good people. I think every one of us is, from Jackie to Sweet Tea to everybody. Good people. Continue to watch, and hopefully we don't disappoint you. We try to do better. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, and Carlos knows this, and Claudia knows it. When you're on camera, the emotions are 10 times what they would be off camera. People are showing up for the camera. They're doing things they probably would never do because the cameras are there. So again, give us some grace. Dustin.
Oh yeah, I've given a lot of grace, and I'm gonna continue to give grace, because I think that's beautiful, and it's even more beautiful when people take accountability, right? Because that's what really inspires us to lead with grace when we deal with people. So to me, people fuck up all the time. I make mistakes. I made mistakes yesterday. I'm gonna make some today, tomorrow. We all will. But as a man, I'm a man's man. You know what I'm saying? Accountability is really, really important to me. And when I fuck up, I speak on it and I make it right with the person that I fucked up with. Those sort of relationships, that sort of view to a resolve, is what we love to see on a show that's about people being in relationship with one another. So y'all will make mistakes. As long as y'all show up, take accountability for your mistakes, don't ignore them or pretend they didn't happen, I think that we will see y'all continue to have seasons 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 forever. You will see you have the success that we want to see. So we'll give grace as long as y'all are accountable. I think it'll be a beautiful, harmonious relationship. Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you for that. We
Yeah.
appreciate
And
it. Thank
listen,
you.
congrats on another great season. I'm looking forward to Married to Medicine, more seasons to come. I'm going to say this and not take it back. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The success of Married to Medicine lies within the cast.
Yes.
And this is what I tell even my own cast. It's important that you guys find some sort of common ground, even if it means, to really just sit with it and maybe have a conversation amongst each other. Married to Medicine is a strong cast, and I'm going to end with this. You guys have the same OG since season 1, and y'all just wrapped season 11.
Yeah,
that's rare in this business.
I would have never thought this shit would have lasted this long. I would have never thought. I never even thought about it.
It's rare. So my thing is, like, as much as y'all fuss and fight, I will say I love y'all get along. Dustin hit the nail on the head. When I saw Dr. Jackie and Simone, like, fuck these cameras, let's have a real conversation. I love that. Quad and Simone's argument is rooted in hurt on both sides, right? That's why the baritone in Dustin Ross's voice came out. So I'll say at the end of the day, protect each other as much as you can, because it's important for an ensemble show to have a cast that gets along. That's it.
I agree. I got one last question, and the question is for Dustin. Dustin, you've been watching since season 1. What do you want to see from us? I mean, because to me, I feel like, okay, we do a lot of positive things. We have a lot of positivity going on. I think that production does know what to show and what not, and what people are going to watch and what they're not going to watch. And a lot of times the drama is overshadowing the positivity, because that's what gets the ratings. So what are we supposed to do? I mean, how can we do better? What do you want from us?
Authenticity, Dr. Heavenly. We want to watch something that is aspirational. We want to feel like we're having a purview into a world that we don't have access to typically, right? So just the way that you live your life as a Black physician in Atlanta with access to resources, that's interesting. I think that people forget that what made drama and moments of confrontation interesting on reality TV initially was the fact that it was out of the ordinary from what we saw typically, right? That would be the culmination of a story being built. So while people have grown to have an appetite for that and for the insults or reads or whatever, that's not what we watch the damn show for. So when people start being performative, when people start having antics that are not realistic, when people start having events that are stupid that you wouldn't have otherwise, celebrating something ridiculous just to get everyone together, that's when we start losing interest. We want to see authenticity from you ladies. You're a funny motherfucker, Dr. Heavenly. You have a great personality. We want to see that. We want to see you running and scaling your businesses, and disagreements will happen naturally amongst an ensemble cast of Black doctors and their spouses. So the drama or the confrontation will come naturally. It's only interesting. It's only entertaining when it's organic. That's why you just said that you don't have rehearsed insults or rehearsed reads or whatever. That's why there's a value or currency in that station, right? And not having that, because it's only good or interesting when it's real. If y'all focus on that, y'all will be all right. No more Phaedra's on the cast talking about she's doing Reiki, and all she does. No more of that. No more calling Apollo. I know he makes great TV, and he didn't mind getting in Phaedra's ass in a way that y'all probably couldn't, right? But we don't want to see that shit because it doesn't make sense to us as viewers. We are tired of hearing everybody say how much they're sick of you talking shit on your YouTube, Dr. Heavenly. So when you got a point to make, you got to start focusing your aim or your laser beam, right? You don't have to hit everybody around to make your point or bring other people's information into your statement that you make. And we sick of seeing them say that about you because we fuck with you on that show. That's why when you fuck up, it disappoints us, the viewers that really fuck with you, Dr. Heavenly, and been supporting you since season 2. So we just want to see that. We want to see you thriving, being your best, being your funny self. You might have to cuss a motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? That's good too, because we'll understand why it happened, because there was a story leading up to it. You're not just having a confrontation for the sake of it. As long as y'all stay authentic, your lives are so dynamic and interesting that we'll have a good ass show. That's all y'all got to do is keep it real.
I receive everything you're saying, sir. I really do. And I respect you for saying it to me because a lot of people won't say it. I appreciate that. Carlos, you got a real one here, Claudia. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Claudia.
I love you, Heavenly.
We got so much more to give. Thank y'all for watching.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys.
Love you, baby. All right.
Bye, baby.
Bye, baby. Love you. Love you. All right. Listen.
Great advice, Dustin.
No problem.
No, because Dustin, the thing that we love about Dustin, which is why he works within this confinement of us doing this Monday Night Live, is because he really watches the show. He actually cares. He gives constructive criticism. I sometimes feel bad when reality stars DM him. Based on,
you know it ain't gonna get answered. You can't watch me.
Doesn't answer.
Me up here, we're having commentary. You ain't DMing other people who do commentary, right?
Yeah.
You don't have access to us. I'm not talking about it outside of this screen. So this is where the conversation belongs, and you can make your way down to the comments with everybody else.
Very insightful. Yeah. I want to say I saw a lot of comments saying, why am I just sitting here? Am I frozen? Do I not like Heavenly? I don't watch the show.
She doesn't watch the show.
I've maybe watched one episode in my entire life. I've never watched the entire show. I've just, since I've been rocking with y'all, of course, I'm watching Housewives every week religiously now. And I, of course, watched the reunion part 1, though. So I didn't know a lot of that stuff. So I'm sitting here like with the raindrops, like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening to what you're really saying.
Me too. Because Dustin, I love seeing Dustin and Heavenly talk. So that was the icing on the cake for me. Yeah. But now, ladies, gentlemen, gays and theys, the moment you've all been waiting for, we are now going to get into the most explosive, highly anticipated episode, the most controversial episode probably in the history of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This episode I watched with bated breath, and I watched it twice because the thing is this, I watched it the first time and I was like watching it as like, anticipating like what's going to happen because we already know what happened. Then I watched it again to make sure that I was able to understand everything, and I did. So I want to get into it. Before we get into the moment that happened between Kenya and Brit and everything that went down at Kenya Moore Hair Spa, I want to get into Kenya Moore Hair and LaToya Hobbs. The Team Twirl is in the chat. I love you guys. Okay, so look, I do want to first start off Claudia and Dustin. Mm-hmm. Kelly, I love you, Kelly. Kelly, you are reigning as my #1 favorite newbie. But Kelly, baby doll, Angela Oakley is coming for your spot. And Kelly, I love you, but I got to be honest with you. Angela is coming for your spot, Kelly. Sorry. We'll see if she surpasses you. But as of now, Kelly, you are still Carlos King's #1 favorite newbie. Angela Oakley scenes when it comes to her daughter, and Claudia and Dustin would love you to take it from here. I just want to say that I think Angela Oakley is such a natural. And to see her talk to her daughter and to discuss things that were going on in their dynamic, she is giving us great personal story. And I am here for all of it. So get into Angela Oakley. Claudia and Dustin, y'all agree with me, disagree with me? What are your thoughts on her?
I think she's a great cast member, being part of this group. I don't see her like leading her own show, but I see her as being a stand-up star in an ensemble cast, because she's not rah. She's not there, but she's subtle about it. And like Dustin was saying just now, we want to see real life stuff, and she plays right into that. And I don't think she's playing. That's why it's good. You could tell Charles kind of doesn't play ball with her sometimes and kind of throws her off. That's real. Sometimes in relationships, you want your guy to be all fawning all over you, and he may throw not helping her get stuff out of the truck or load the stuff up. He'll do stuff like that. But guess what? Real relationships are like that. And then we got the conversation with her daughter, and she didn't know that her daughter got married. It seemed like the cameras weren't even really there. The way her daughter did not come off as performative. Her daughter came off like they were caught on camera, not like they were playing for camera. And I really like that. It seemed, right? Didn't it feel very, very real? And you're like, damn, like y'all talking about some real shit. I, like you, Dustin, get so sick and tired. And this is what kind of irritated me when I was doing reality TV. Everybody acts like their life is always on 10. It's always a designer bag. It's always a Hermes. It's always a top-notch event. It's always Bentleys and Rolls Royces, and it's not. Some days it's real life stuff where you're mad at your daughter because she didn't tell you something that you think her daughter should share with your mom. Her mom. That is what makes the average person who does not live like affluent like that want to rock with y'all and want to care about your storyline. People are not going to relate. And I would tell people on some other reality shows I worked on, stop. You're playing above the heads of your viewers. Like, you can't assume everyone like that. That's unrelatable, some of that stuff. But that family stuff is relatable to everyone, no matter what income level you're on. Like, we can relate to that. And I liked it. I was here for that.
Yeah, speaking further to the relatability piece, that I think is Angela's superpower, right? Is that, yes, she is married to Charles Oakley, and if you're a person of a certain age, you know who the fuck Charles Oakley is, and if you know anything about sports, you do. So you know what that means for her to be his wife. And she has the quirks that make housewives memorable and that make us like certain housewives. Prime example, it's the little shit she does. She was washing her face in that scene in the bathroom, washing her face using a little pad or something. And she had her hair pulled back in a ponytail like Black woman. I got a mother. My parents been married 55 years. So I've seen my mother do this for a long time. Pull her hair back in that ponytail to wash her face and call my daddy while she's in the mirror. And it was something about the way Angela called Charles' name twice when she was washing her face. She said, Charles. Then she said, Charles. She called him like that. The way she said Charles that second time, that's the kind of shit that endears us to a housewife. It's very natural. It's very real. It's very relatable. And I'm enjoying her. I'm enjoying this season overall. But yes, I agree with you that Kelly is a great, great force to be reckoned with on this cast. She is the stuff housewives are made of. And Angela Oakley is a very nice surprise for me as a viewer of this show. I'm thoroughly enjoying the two of them.
Kelly's fun. Sorry, Coach. No. I already talked. I just was saying Kelly is fun. And at one point I thought she was gonna be not fake, but like first she sat down with Kenya and them, right, with the other girls, and then when she went with Brit, she definitely showed her like loyalty to Brit, like how she walked out of the event. And that's hard to do because you're new. You kind of got in with the OGs like you. And like it showed that she has some oomph about her. She's not afraid to stand on what she believes. She's not kind of going with the flow. She's not flippity floppity. She's kind of standing on something. And I did like that about her.
Yeah, I agree. She's short, so she be looking up, but she know where she going. And I like that about her. I like that about Kelly. That Kelly, she's a good addition to this cast. So let's shoot the shit, right? Since we got to talk about it, let's talk about it. I like Brit. Sorry, and I feel like
I don't think you have to apologize for that.
I feel like me liking Kenya and wanting Kenya to still be a part of this cast, and me feeling like it was wrong that Kenya was released from the filming schedule. Me not agreeing with that does not mean that I have to not appreciate what I feel Edie brings to this cast. So that's where I'm at with it.
Let's have a real conversation. One thing about all of us is we're very honest, and we don't say the things that are popular for the court of public opinion to approve us, right?
No.
We say what's real. And one thing about all three of us, y'all will catch on later that we're right? I said day one, I like Brit, I like Kelly, I like Angela, I like all the new girls. I've known Shamia for years. I've always loved her. The thing with Brit is this, and I do like Brit, and I still like Brit, and I want to have a real conversation. You can like somebody, and it doesn't mean you dislike the other person, and vice versa. So that's what it is. I think Brit is a great housewife. Now, with that being said, let's get into the first scene with Brit, Shamia, and Angela.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest in terms of how I felt. I felt Brit was performative in that scene. To me,
100%.
It did not come across authentic. I didn't think the I have been doing reality television for 20 years. Okay? Put some respect on my name. I know what the fuck I be talking about. Y'all don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. I think it's fun when y'all don't because I ain't losing no sleep. And if you are a critical thinker, you would maybe sometimes be like, he knows a little bit more than the average Joe, right? When I watched that scene between Shamia, Angela, and Brit, and I like Brit, and I think Brit is a great housewife. Again, it came across performative, where I think Brit came into the scene feeling like she had to be apologetic. I believe, because I've been doing, I know how this shit works. I believe some phone calls were made, and Brit they were like, girl, I did, but girl, ain't a good look. And I think she had to, well, I don't want whatever. I felt like Brit was trying to do damage control 100%. On the comment that she made, right? And I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it in that scene. I felt nothing. In the words of Whitney Houston, I have nothing. I had nothing to feel. People Bryson, feel the fire. I felt nothing. Changing faces, struck me up, struck me down. I wasn't stroked. I felt nothing. I didn't feel anything. And I did mine.
I agree with you. I thought it was very fake. Yeah. And to me, it made me feel like she's not right for the show, actually.
Okay. Why?
Because Claudia? Like we just praised Kelly for standing on business. If that's what you felt, then stand on that shit. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that about a gun. I'm not sorry that I checked her because I don't like her. It's very obvious she is not like Kenya since day one.
Yeah.
It is very obvious that she has been looking for a reason to go off. And that at that dinner where Kenya gave her a hug and patted her, which was not that big of a deal, gave her excuse to be mad, be big mad. She got the phone calls because let me tell you this. Well, not tell you this because y'all know this. This is episode 4, right? 4 or 5?
5. Yeah.
5. So this may have been shot pretty early on. Where you don't really know if you're solidified, right? Because you don't really know. They film you, you're a new girl, you film, and then later on through filming, maybe she was still, it wasn't all the way locked in, right, Carlos? Like you can be filming and then it's not locked in. So maybe it was like
while she was testing.
If you want to be kept around here, play the game. Because it felt very, how are you so crunk for 4 episodes and all of a sudden like I've never seen anyone change their stances. We just talked to Heavenly, 12 years, they're still doing the same shit. Yeah. You think someone in 4 episodes is really going to have a change of heart? No. Yeah. I think that was job security, which I get it. Brit, I'm not even like coming for you on that. I understand it's a great opportunity. You probably wanted to be on this for a long time. You got on. I get why you would do it, but it definitely felt like fake, like I'm gonna say what I gotta say just to get through this, but I don't really feel it.
She could have been slicker about it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be performative, put on a show. You know what I'm saying? And she did not do that. I think the body posturing while she was talking, when she was doing like this and saying I didn't mean, all of that shit, it did not come off as genuine. I agree. And I feel like, so let's talk about what we were robbed of, right? I feel like with Kenya making an exit this early in the season, we were robbed of an interesting ass feud. Y'all want drama, y'all want fireworks, let Brit and Kenya go at it for the whole damn season. I feel like we were robbed of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Brit, as a newbie with a unique vocal tone, fashion sense, and enough balls to get into a verbal back and forth with somebody, she had the makings of a likable villain very early on in the season. And I think she just played her cards wrong. She came in way too hot at the bank and she was starting shit with Kenya. And she actually gave Kenya an opportunity to be clean and look good. She gave Kenya an opportunity to ignore her, not feed into her antics, turn her back on her, and let her spiral out of control, which is exactly what happened when she became Yosemite Brit. And she started twirling them guns verbally, you know what I'm saying, with her mouth and talking about pistols and shit. Kenya made her spiral by ignoring her. And that was disappointing to me. I'm like, damn, speaking of Whitney Houston, didn't we almost have it all? You know what I'm saying? We almost had a good new motherfucker on the show who really could, you know what I'm saying, be a beautiful villain. And we just were robbed of that. And I think it's going way too far. I think she was way out of line for talking about pistols. Kenya was way out of line for showing a picture of her allegedly sucking dick. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not good. So
they were both dead ass wrong, and I know people expect me to sit up here and just defend Kenya. So that I've never been like that. No, it was definitely wrong. It went too far, and it took a beautiful moment, like the way it was being set up, and that event. How beautiful was Kenya with that banging
you
dress?
were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there, but
Yeah.
they didn't
So
show me.
I want to ask you this. Oh, they didn't show.
That's fine.
No,
You'll want me back one day.
Claudia, no. In their defense, Claudia, a lot was going on. Okay.
No, I know. I left before that happened, though. But I left before that happened. I just showed my face.
I do want to ask you this. You actually were present for Kenya Moore's hair spa grand opening, right? The celebration of this amazing brick and mortar that she was able to do on her own, which is a huge feat. Beautiful. You were there. Can you explain to us the temperature in the room while you were there? Because obviously you're not on the show, so you don't know like what the dynamics of everybody, but was the tension in the air thick? Did you feel like something weird was going on? Or what did you see? That now in hindsight, you're like, oh, I now see why that was going on.
That's the crazy thing. There was no clues. There was no indication. It was none of that. Kenya was pleasant. I didn't think that she was like, wait for the next 10 minutes, like stick around. Something's about, gave no hints, nothing. I mean, it was like all good vibes. Like I did not see it coming. I did not taking pictures like by the beautiful flower wall. It was none of that. So I'm just like, when Kenya did not let on at all.
I wasn't even there, and I feel the same way. It's so crazy because, and I know I can't be the only person that feels like this, but it's like we know what happened, but we still don't know what happened. Yeah. It still doesn't make sense to me. Like none of their feud doesn't make sense. I just feel like we arrived at a conclusion. You know what I'm saying? There was no story built to introduce them as rival. There's just nothing. I just feel like they had a bad night, and the next thing we know, it's dick sucking posters. So it just I just feel confused about the whole situation.
I think Portia clocked it for me. I thought, okay, so we watched a scene where it was Portia, Kelly, and Kenya, and they were there to support Kenya as she was testing models for her event. When they started recapping what was happening with the night before with Angela Oakley's event, Brit saying the pistol thing, all those things, I think a lot of people missed Portia's point, and I want to address it because I felt like Portia clocked it, and I don't think people really clocked it the way Portia did. And the moment Portia said this, I was like, finally somebody said it. And I'm paraphrasing what Portia said, so please watch the show. But Portia pretty much intimated that, look, Brit watched the show. Brit knows who Kenya Moore is. Kenya Moore is one of the most iconic, legendary reality stars in the history of the world, right? And it's okay to have preconceived notions going into the show. And the reason why I say it's okay, and hear me out when I say this, it's hard to walk into a show that you watch without having it. And anybody who says that, if you haven't watched it, that's one thing. Brit coming into this show, she clearly knew who Kenya Moore was, and we all have seen Kenya Moore clips. Portia clocked it where she's like, I think Brit was like, I know what Kenya gives, and that's not about to be me. Yeah. And that's why I was saying last week, Brit, in my opinion, I felt like Brit did not want to be the girl that Kenya Moore read.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she wanted to make that very clear. Kenya Moore clocked it last week, and that's why she said you want a moment. Because the reason why you're confused, Dustin, the reason why Claudia is confused, the reason why the 6,000 people in this room are confused, and the reason why some of the audience is confused is because it went from 0 to 60 in a matter of 2 seconds. And then Claudia clocked it earlier, which is like to be on a 10 and to go down to a 0. I know how this works. And sometimes, Claudia, am I lying? When some of these girls are on a 10, it takes a week to get them down to an 8. Yeah. And I think that's why it was hard for people to digest it. And I think that's the reason why we're so confused. But I think Portia clocked it, and I wanted to say that. And look, I think Kenya, in my opinion, I think Kenya knew that, okay, this girl wants to establish her position on this show. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Claudia is right. In some cases, not all, but in some, you are kind of auditioning for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya Moore has said it publicly that she was season 5. She was filming without being a housewife, and she was like, okay, now look, if y'all want me, cool. If y'all don't, I'm out of here. So I think you guys have to look at things like that, and that's why I want to at least give Brit some grace too, in terms of you have this big opportunity and you want to be able to solidify your position. So,
but that was like such a trash way of doing it. Like, you know what I don't like? I don't like false confidence. Because leading up to that, you that bitch, you got the husband, you got the this, you the baddie that's been doing videos since your high school, you got this, that, and the third. If you have confidence in yourself and you know you're dope, right? You shouldn't have to do all of that. You shouldn't have to like fight with this girl like that. Like Kenya, listen, Kenya can be a lot of things, and she can rub people the wrong way, and she can talk herself, and she can easily get under your skin. You know why? She's very smart and she's very patient. And she usually doesn't make these kind of miscalculations. That's why I'm actually kind of shocked that she did this. So it's like, maybe she felt like, you know, amongst the new girls, like, damn, I'm with the new batch of girls, but they just as bad, if not more, like, and bad meaning good. You know what I mean? So let me just go tip for tap with the queen. Maybe she thought she was like, you know, people think that I came for Nene and that was what got me on. And I really didn't. It truly was in the moment. And that was an organic moment. I didn't go in there with a preconceived notion or an agenda. It definitely felt from early on that she had an agenda. And that's what makes it whack. Going in with an agenda to me is just as whack as having a pre-rehearsed read. That is whack. That's like, I'm going to wait for the right moment to drop this. No, if you really are that bitch, that girl, you should be that confident that I'm smart, I'm quick, and I know how to clock shit, and I'll be able to respond appropriately with the right amount of force in the moment. And that's what makes you a good housewife. Now you look unhinged. Now we don't even feel like, I mean, yeah, it was fucked up what happened with Kenya, what Kenya did to Brit, but we kind of don't really feel bad for either one of them now, because they both kind of did some shit that was like too far.
They did, and you're 100% right about Brit just doing things for the sake of doing them. And it actually, her behavior at the dinner at the bank contradicted what she expressed to Angela when they went for that walk. And she told her that, you know, I feel a certain energy from Kenya, and basically if she fuck with me again, I'm on her ass, right? You can feel that way, but it doesn't mean you have to seek or pursue or look for an argument or a confrontation. You just wait until, hopefully it doesn't ever present itself, but you wait until someone has, you know, offended you in that way, and you check their ass. Kenya had done nothing to her. She said nothing offensive to her at that dinner. She was actually very pleasant with her. And so Brit's behavior did appear unhinged and out of place and motivated by a desire to not get punked. You ain't gonna get me, I ain't gonna be the one. You know, it felt like that, and that's never entertaining. When you could have just sat there, been cool with all these ladies, look beautiful, she's gorgeous, she could have just looked beautiful. And if Kenya did present that energy, then it would have made sense to the viewers for her to meet her at that level and let the chips fall where they may. But Brit was on one, she was turned up, and unfortunately this is where it ended. I don't think Kenya should have been suspended. I don't think what she did warranted being removed from the cast. Now, I wasn't sucking dick on the posters, so maybe it's not up to me, you know what I'm saying, to say that. But I don't feel like what she did, we didn't see the picture as viewers. The people that were there saw it, so I'm sure that was terrible for her, and I can't speak to what that means to her. But as far as the shit that these women have done to each other on this show up until now, a lot of other terrible things have happened, and we haven't seen people lose their jobs over it. So I feel like that was a little misaligned, and I hope to see Kenya hopefully at the reunion and back on the cast next season, so we can watch the story forward unplay. We don't get to see what happened. We don't get to see them figure it out. We didn't get to see either one of them be accountable for their actions for real. So hopefully we get to see Kenya at the reunion and we get to watch their story play out fully next season. That's my hope.
Can I give advice? So anyone that wants to do television, I know I'm not like, I was a 1-season person, but I don't care about that. I know television and I know human nature and I know I'm intelligent. No housewife has ever become iconic from anything physical or threatening someone. You are iconic when you have some measure of restraint, when you murder with your words by looking fabulous, not cussing someone out and being rah, rah, rah and going low. When you can look gorgeous, wealthy, affluent, classy, but say some shit that gets to your soul and gets you together, those are iconic. Or when you're fun, like we're still saying Nene Leakes, the ghetto, like we still saying that. We still talk about white refrigerators. We still talk about a lot of the other reads that people have said, like who said that or whatever, like, you know, all those things, you know what I mean? Like, because those are memorable moments.
Right.
We don't talk about Portia dragging Kenya by her hair because that was violent and that was a dark spot in the history of Housewives. We're not going to talk about Brittany much longer after this. After we get through the season, it's going to be a dark spot on the history of the franchise. It's going to be the cute moments that we can like repeat amongst our friends in our group chats. That's what makes you an iconic housewife. We want to have fun and be able to repeat some of your lines. Ain't no one want to repeat, where's my pistol, where my whips? And no one's going to want to repeat putting someone's dick sucking pictures on a poster either. So I'm going to keep it fair. I wish they would get back to knowing like the things that are memorable are when they lasted upon you, but they also exercise some restraint. When you know a bitch could whip your ass, but she whipped your ass with her words.
I also didn't understand how if somebody said they're going to shoot you, wouldn't posting pictures of them sucking dick make them want to shoot you some more? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand how that was the defense move. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think it just didn't make sense to me. And
listen, it's the reason why, as I was watching the episode and I wanted to watch it twice. And, you know, when the event started, you're seeing like the spa looks gorgeous, right?
Beautiful.
And it looks beautiful. And one of the things that I even took like, wow, this is great, is the fact that everybody did show up to support her because, you know, a lot of those things don't happen. So we see Kelly and Brit arrive together. I'm going to start by saying this. I'm going to finish it later. In my opinion, Kelly was the MVP in this episode because that's the type of friend you want. You know, like Kelly is something. Listen, the movie, there's something about Mary. There is something about Kelly where I just feel like she's so natural, and everything Kelly has done so far this season as a human being, when it comes to my friends, I would have done the same thing in terms of like having their back and being supportive when you felt like your friend was being read, whatever the case may be. So anyway, so that to say, looking at Kenya's event, a lot of the comments are saying this, that it's a shame that it happened at her event due to the celebratory nature of what the accomplishment means. You said it, Claudia said it, I've said it. There's nobody saying what Kenya did was right. We all collectively have said it last week, and we'll say it again this week, and I'll say it. What Kenya did was not okay.
Right.
It was wrong. It was unfortunate, right? Two wrongs do not make a right. I said what Brit said is wrong. What Kenya did is wrong. Two wrongs do not make a right. I wish Kenya would have given her a read that would have, like Claudia said, solidified the force multiplier that she is, right? In a perfect world, I think that should have taken place. Kenya Moore herself has said on Tamron Hall that she was wrong. I don't see why people listen. If the person who did it is saying I was wrong and I should have done something better, I don't think it's bad for anyone else to be like, we agree with you. It was a bad thing to do. Based on what occurred and based on what led up to it, it's evident that when it comes to Kenya's place on the show, she is somebody that is irreplaceable. When it comes to what the network decided to do, I tell people this all the time. No one believes me because it is what it is. The dismissal of anybody is at the hands of the network. We don't have Carlos King, producers, production companies. We don't have a say or the power to hire or fire anybody. Everything is at the hands. We can give our opinion with anything, right? Claudia, I said this story before. I fought for Claudia. I'm like, I want her in the ultimately, it's not my decision. Do you know what I mean? But I can have a point of view because I'm respected in this game. But at the end of the day, the network, and they said it on the title card, it didn't say the production company, it didn't name producers. It said the network decided to not move forward with continuing the filming with Kenya. It was their decision. I don't have a say in it. That's how the business does work. And you guys are seeing that again. What I say is true. But anyways, when it comes to, but I want to ask the two of you this. When it comes to Kenya's actions, listen, let's have a real conversation. Based on what I've seen on social media, it is split. 50% think she deserved to be removed of her duties. There's 50% who believe she shouldn't have been. Where do the two of you lie within that? Do you think that should have been the case?
Ladies first, my love.
Thank you, sweethearts. Do I think she'd been taken off? No, I don't. Because this is what I'm gonna say about Kenya. When I look at her history on the franchise, Kenya has been at the receiving end of a lot of foul shit that other people weren't kicked off for. Kenya has every right to be a little paranoid about threats of violence when she was beat up on the show and no one really did nothing. And, you know, I know people are watching tonight and I'm just that's what I think. Like, it's much like I feel like Mimi feels like. She's like, when am I going to win on this show? When am I going to get the edit? When am I going to get the protection? When is it going to be like protect Kenya? So she's had to deal with a lot of stuff that has come to land on her doorstep and deal with it and play good and still play along with everybody else. And she did. Now, you can make an argument and say she deserves some of that smoke for her mouth. But like I said earlier, it should never resort to violence. This is the Housewives. It's not real Love and Hip Hop. This is not Zeus. So you should be able to talk the biggest shit on the show and not get your ass beat on the show. And not have someone threaten you with a weapon. So I will say she's been on the receiving end and she's had to deal with a lot. Now, if you don't like her, you're going to say, well, the bitch deserved it because she runs her mouth. If you do have some kind of grace, or you can think of things like, and take your personal feelings out of it. You could say, you know what? I could see how she might snap eventually. Kenya has been dragged and embarrassed in a gown in a reunion in front of millions of people and had to keep quiet about it for a very long time. So with that being said, I could see why she would overreact to a talk of a gun, threats of a gun, all that kind of stuff. I can see how that would be. Doesn't make it right. 100% no. 100% no. The I hate for her that is brilliant and smart, as calculating as she is, that she let a newbie get her jammed up where she lost her position and the newbie's still on the show. That's the tragic thing. And that opening of her salon was so beautiful, and now it's forever marred with that night. And it's not going to help your business. Like I felt when Brittany came up to her, even the apology to me was kind of fake, right? It was like scrambling, grasping for straws to keep her job. I thought for a moment, like, damn, Kenya, you could go. That was the moment you could go left right now and say, you know what, let me abort my plan, or let me go right and just say fucking and do it anyways. And when she stuck with it, I'm like, damn it. I would rather have seen her, like Carlos said, get her together verbally. It would have been such an iconic season with those two going back and forth if no more gun threats were made. You know what I mean? It would have been, we got deprived. We lost seeing an epic battle. Like, and Brittany would have been elevated to not Kenya's level, but she would have been elevated. And I think now she kind of goes down. No pun intended. No pun intended. But her value goes down on the show.
Well, you've been on a roll.
Sorry, Dustin. I need the raindrops to know. I ordered dinner. It's been a long day. So sorry, Claudia and Dustin, real fast, because my range, they like to know what I eat.
It's
so
okay.
I'm eating it's a sandwich from Planta. It's plant-based brisket with aioli sauce. Go ahead, Dustin.
And it's good because you took 2 bites. I said, damn.
And my mouth was, and it
He's
came out of my
smacking
mouth.
too.
I can't hold anything in it. Go ahead, Dustin.
You can't hold anything in your mouth?
Dustin Ross,
No.
can you please?
Must be tired from the weekend. Okay, go ahead.
Claudia said she going to Kinko's next to print posters, but
Yeah.
I thought that, okay, so I think a couple of things happened, right? Number one, Brit was absolutely doing damage control. And that's why those apologies, the conversation in Shamia's home, none of that, read as believable to me. Even some of the way that she was speaking with Kelly when they were in that Sprinter ride, which I love the fact that Kelly picked her up in that Sprinter and they had champagne. We're getting back to the things that make Real Housewives of Atlanta feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I didn't believe Brit's disposition in the car either. To me, she was obviously playing to trying to create a certain perception of herself and trying to appear remorseful. You know what I mean? But it just wasn't authentic. I also think I keep hearing a conversation about the fact that people feel like Kenya may have missed an opportunity to make the focus of the night her salon and the opening of it. I think that Kenya was trying to do just that by pulling that stunt at the opening of her hair spa. I think she presumed and assumed that was going to be an iconic Housewives of Atlanta moment that would be remembered forever when she got Brit's ass, but it backfired in the worst possible way. It took the focus completely off of her salon and on the stupid shit that she did in response to Brit's antics. And it was just sad to see. I like both of these ladies. Kenya Moore is without a doubt a big part and a big reason that we even watch and talk about this show to this day. She came on that show in season 5 and changed it forever. We can't argue about that. I didn't want to see her go out this way. My hope, we can't do nothing. We can't go back and put her in the damn episodes, right? So my hope is that, listen, her and Bravo, the powers that be, can have some sort of conversation. She can end up at the reunion and back on the cast for season 17 so we can see the story play out. But to me, it's not helping matters when you're doing things like reposting an AI picture of you with tape over your mouth that says justice for Kenya. That's not helping. That's not helping. You've been in the business too long, Kenya. You know how this works. Like Nene said, get your team to help you out. Get the people on the phone that need to be on the phone to have a proper negotiation and a proper conversation with the powers that be to bring you back to this cast where you belong, because I feel the absence of her in these episodes. I feel the absence of her confessional scenes. I feel the absence of scenes of her daughter, beautiful daughter, running around that house. We haven't seen the pool she put in her house. We ain't seen shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can feel the void of her participation in the show, and it sucks. I wanted to see her and Portia be friends. I wanted to see that.
That was gonna, I mean, to piggyback off of that, when I saw her and Portia with Kelly, film as they were testing out the models, I love that scene the most. Their friendship, the beginning of their friendship just seemed to be so natural. And I think they both understood like how magical that the two women who came in season 5 are now the anchors of this show. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at sports, hey Claudia, if you look at sports, it's sort of like the rookies having an opportunity to be in the starting 5 and leading the team. Like, and I felt that those two women understood that assignment and was like, we're gonna get along as long as we can because we know how this works. But I agree with you. I was looking forward to that. I do want to ask the two of you this. Before I get into that, I at least want to lighten the mood a little bit.
Okay.
Can we talk about my favorite RuPaul Drag Race moment that Kenya gave with the dust? I mean, look, let me lighten the mood up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I rewound that 5 times because I felt like Kenya was trolling her bathroom It was like, it was to me, it was so housewife like noted. It was just like, I mean, coded. It was housewife coded what she did with the dust. Like, I love that. I love the quote of Megan Thee Stallion. I'm that bitch, still that bitch, will forever be that bitch. Like, I wish it was like just that, because to me, it made me laugh and it just made me love her even more.
And that's why she's needed. Like, that's the kind of stuff that we miss about the housewives. Like, more of that, less of this ghetto shit that's been happening. And I want to say this about the friendship between Portia and Kenya. See, that feels real because it took years to get here. You know, it basically, Brit tried to force that like moment, like try to get the whole, 180 in one episode. No, like there's been, like, I remember being at Kenya's baby shower and Portia was there and we took a picture, all of us. And I was like, damn, okay, that was the beginning. And it wasn't like great, but it was better. And over the years, that is a real relationship. That's what makes reality shows good, when you have people that, like, you can show an evolution. They were at this point, they got to this point, and then they're slowly getting back. That's what happens in real life. In real life, you don't go to one lunch with someone and then you're back best friends again because there's cameras on you or because you want Andy Cohen to keep you on the series. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, that was fake, and she should have known better. And really, if she really wanted to apologize to Kenya, I mean, she could have like told her producer, she could have said, hey, let me call her and be like, listen, before we go on camera, I want you to know that this is real and I'm not doing it for a moment. Because Kenya's going to clock that right away. Kenya's going to clock that you're trying to have this fake moment with me. It ain't real. I probably haven't heard from you since the gun thing. You probably did not try to reach out at all. So you're going to do this at my event. So I can see why Kenya be like, F that, because I already got something for you. Not saying it was right, because it still wasn't. But you got to just think about, like, she knows the game. She's been there for a long time. And Brit, I don't know who gave her the advice that would be a good idea, but if you piss someone off and the first time they see you was on camera, they know you're just trying to control the scene. You're trying to get the scene. You're trying to get that moment.
Yeah, I agree. It just, I agree. It does. It makes no. I'm not even gonna offer no commentary on the antics of it all. I'll just say I agree with you 100%.
It would feel fake.
Yeah,
it's like your man just cheated on you, but he comes home with like some flowers, and you're like, nah,
yeah,
it's gonna take some more than that
to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got some things to discuss, and that's what I mean. We were robbed of all of that. We ain't seen none of that. No kind of. We didn't see them talk through anything or work through anything, and it just feels very interrupted as a viewer, right? It feels very like our viewing experience has been disrupted by Kenya's exit, as opposed to it making sense as to why she's off the show. Even with the view into the salon escapade that we saw, and even with the apology tour that Brit attempted to start, it still feels incomplete. So again, we can't do nothing about the past. The show's in the can already and being aired currently. I just hope that they bring Kenya to this reunion on the stage with the ladies in person, face to face, so that we can see this group of women talk that moment out. I really hope we get to see that. And I want Kenya back on the show.
And what?
I want Kenya back on the cast full time next season. I do.
Brittany should have not done that at Kenya's event, just like Kenya should have not done that at her event, sabotaging herself. But Britt, you should have reached out to her and had a one-on-one lunch. If you maybe supervise with Angela or someone that you trust as a mediator, but that would show that, listen, or again, a side phone conversation. I really mean this. I'm really sorry. I don't want to make this look like just a scene. Just something where she could, she'll be able to tell she's sincere. But once she got to her event, Kenya was paying her dust. She was like, whatever, ignored the hell out of her, because she already had a mindset that she's about to like ruin this girl. And then that's what happened. She ended up ruining herself, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So, and I want to get into that because what no one is talking about that we will is the fact that, not to get all spiritual on Monday Night Live, but y'all know me, but God is in everything. And listen, and I'm being very honest when I say this. Thank God Brit wasn't there. And I do mean that.
Yeah.
The fact that she decided to leave based on Kenya paying her dust, I was happy that Brit was not subjected to seeing that, because I would not have wanted that for her
Right.
for you know, to deal with seeing that.
The
You know,
embarrassment and the
yeah,
shameful.
I'm happy she wasn't able to see it herself. And
Yeah.
and again, I'm grateful and thankful that Brit had the sense to be like, she's paying me dust, let me leave, right? So I wanted to address that because God forbid she was there. I think this would be, I'll just say this. This probably would have been a very different conversation. And I'll leave it at
Hell
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, the other ladies were there, and I want to talk about this with you guys. I want a friend like Kelly. I want a friend who was a friend to my face and behind my back. You know, and I want to really focus on the decision that Kelly made. Kelly has no issues with Kenya. Kelly was even there while Kenya was auditioning folks. Kelly saw one poster board and she said, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This is my girl. We came here together.
Yeah.
You want a friend like Kelly. Now, unfortunately, Kelly and Brit aren't friends today, which we'll see what happens with that. But you want a friend like Kelly who did that. So she left. The other ladies were watching what was going on. I want to talk about the ladies' reaction to it because I know I don't know all those girls. I know Portia and Cynthia. So let me just be, and yeah, I know those two. I know Portia and Cynthia well, and I could tell that in their minds, they were like, what is this about to be? And Claudia, you weren't there at that moment, but when it came to the ladies' reactions, they all decided to leave, and Cynthia stayed back. And I want to get into Cynthia because she's not only a friend of mine, she's a friend of y'all too. Cynthia was the only person who came up to Kenya and said, "Baby, that ain't it. Like, you're better than this. I love you. I'll call you tomorrow." But what did y'all think about the girls' reactions to this?
They were right. They were right. You know, it's good to have friends that are ride or die, but are they really your friend if they don't tell you when you're wrong? You know what I mean? And it wasn't a good look for Kenya, and we know she can do so much better. I will say, on a technical part of this, as far as the whole revenge porn, is it true that those images were images that were already online in a movie that Brit made? Is that true?
That's all alleged. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. And I'm being very honest. I am a journalist. Hey, Portia, I am a journalist. I am not spending my time looking for, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what's wrong is wrong. But I don't, Carlos King, I have no idea.
I always try to think about what was in someone's mind, because Kenya's smart, right? So to like just find some pictures that were private to post them, I don't think she'd be dumb enough to do that. I think from what I've been hearing, I could be wrong, those were images that were on the internet already and she blew them up. And I'm thinking that's why maybe she thought, well, they're already out there. I'm not really committing that crime, but it's not being viewed like that. It's being viewed as it is revenge porn.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's one of those things where there's so many definitions. I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
I don't have Esquire behind my last name. There's things that we all are discovering. It's like, oh, that's illegal. That's legal. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know the definition, but I do want to say this. I always go back to what we saw.
Yeah.
The network did not say the RP word in terms of her dismissal. They didn't say that, right? The network, from my understanding as of today at 8:51 Eastern Standard Time, have not used that word as a cause for her dismissal. So and I'm not saying it is it. I'm not saying it isn't it. All I'm saying is, based on what we saw as viewers, those words have not been used.
No. Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference? And I'm asking you to your opinion on this. If these are images that Brit already had online as a cam girl, like if she was doing web porn stuff, and they were out there and Kenya made copies of them to embarrass her, that's not revenge porn? Is that revenge porn? Do y'all know?
I don't know the law. Like,
yeah, I'm unclear with the law, and I actually don't even think that was necessarily the issue. I think that whether it classified underneath that underneath that
The law.
or not, right? I think the issue is more so the violation of whatever code of conduct exists when it comes
Right.
to nudity, shit like that, whatever. You know, her behavior violated some sort of code of conduct, and they chose, and like they said, they used, speaking of the language used, they said due to Kenya's behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something
At the
about
end of the
what
day,
she
I'm sorry.
did. No, yeah, go ahead, Carlos.
I'm not going to say, because at the end of the day, the thing is this, and we all said this earlier, wrong is wrong, right? Regardless of the definition of where it was, I think wrong is wrong. I think at the end of the day, to show it is just wrong. And again, it's something that Kenya has admitted to it being wrong. But to answer your question, which is a valid question, I don't know the definition of what was going on, but wrong is wrong, and that's that. But I do want to say this part about it too. Cynthia Bailey is getting dragged on social media, and I do want to address that. You two are friends with her. I'm friends with her as well. There is a discourse happening on social media as relates to Cynthia Bailey's comments, not only on the show, but what she has said in a recent interview. Kenya Moore and Cynthia Bailey have not spoken since the incident. They have not spoken, and that's what Cynthia Bailey has said. Cynthia, in some cases, being called a good friend. That a good friend tells you to your face, like, "Girl, I love you. This ain't it." Some people are saying Cynthia's a flip flopper. They're using clips of Nene saying Cynthia blows where the wind blows. Right? These are things people are saying online. As two people who know Cynthia Bailey very well, like I do, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Cynthia Bailey handled this the way, as a friend, that you would want her to?
Dustin, I went first last time.
Yeah, I guess we verse. Listen.
Yeah. I'll be your power bottom.
Verse. So look, I was at Watch What Happens Live with Cynthia when she taped that episode. I heard everything she said about her current state of her friendship with Kenya. Cynthia expressed how much love she had for Kenya. She did make note of the fact that they haven't spoken since the incident, even though she has reached out several times to Kenya. And she also respected Kenya's space with that. She gave her grace. She said, listen, Kenya's got a lot going on, and I understand if she maybe needs some space right now. She knows I love her, and I'm here whenever she wants to talk. So she didn't go on television saying, I ain't talked to Kenya, I don't fuck with Kenya, that was fucked up what she did. No, she was a Cynthia we've always seen her be. All that shit, that conversation that people are having about Cynthia flip-flopping, again, you can't start a story in the middle. Let's not go back into the Housewives canon and see all the times that Kenya tried to embarrass Cynthia on television, rolling the car window up in her face and shit when Cynthia was trying to talk to her in that parking lot, antagonizing her and going way too far, cracking jokes when they did Dinner in the Sky, and she was questioning Cynthia, badgering her with them questions about her wine knowledge when she was opening up the Bailey the wine cellar, the Bailey wine cellar. Let's not forget when Kenya almost spilled the beans and then played coy. Did I do that? And put her finger in the corner of her mouth when she alluded to and hinted at Cynthia's ex-husband Mike proposing to her on camera. This is not a situation where Cynthia is just not being a good friend to Kenya. She was a great friend to Kenya. She kept it real in her face and told her in the moment, I love you. That was fucked up. I got your back, and I'm gonna talk to you later. She has never trashed Kenya behind this. She said she thought Kenya was above that. And if that equates to a bad friend to some people, then so be it. But it don't equate to being a bad friend to me. And I'm biased as fuck because I love Cynthia in real life. So I'm not gonna, make no I'm gonna be clear about that. I'm on Cynthia's side. It's personal for me because I know she's a good person. She's a good friend. So I'm not even gonna play them games. It is what it is. Like, that's my friend. I do the same for any of my friends. So
listen, Claudia, before you talk, Dustin is so Detroit. I love him. Listen, Claudia, because a lot of people don't say it. I love that Dustin's like, and at the end of the day, she's my friend, and
right.
I love that. Dustin is I will say this. In real life, Dustin is a great friend, and you would want a friend like Dustin. Dustin rides for his friends on some real, like, and Dustin will also tell you, like, that ain't it. that ain't it. So, but go ahead, Claudia.
Say how you feel, friend.
I kind of don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've been off since they did Ultimate Girls Trip.
Mm-hmm. They have.
And I heard a little bit from Cynthia, a little bit from Kenya, and I just don't know where it started because depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a kind of a slightly different version of events, right? And so, and that's another show I didn't watch. I'm just going by my personal conversations with them. Like they've been off for a while. You know, it's like depending on whose perspective is from, you can say that's wrong. You know, when you're talking to your friend and they tell you what someone did to them, and you're like, man, fuck that bitch. Like, yeah, they did you dirty. But then you talk to the other person and they tell you, well, this is what I felt went wrong. So it's like, damn. So I really don't know. But I do like no matter what, if Cynthia really feels this way about Kenya or not, publicly she is like presenting like, you know, it's like she's not trying to like throw her on the bus. Like she's like, I don't like it. But she still said she did still speak some positivity into Kenya. And I don't think they've been in a positive place for a long time is what I'm saying. So it's like, I respect people that, listen, y'all know we ain't been cool for years, for real. But we're not giving that to all y'all. We can have, when we're ready, we can talk. And I don't know why, or if you know, Kenya's been avoiding Cynthia's calls or what that's about and why. I am curious to know that. But I do believe that as it goes back to Ultimate Girls Trip, I think their friendship to me was irreparably damaged on that show, and it's never going to be the same as it was before. And I think Cynthia's keeping it cute, and still, you know, Cynthia's still gonna, you know, say positive things, especially on the show, to her. But I did catch wind that online, it's like they, you know, they're trying to make it like that Cynthia flip flop, and she's not really having her friends back. You can have your friends back and still tell them they're wrong. That is definitely possible. It's hard, but it is definitely, you know, I don't know. I hate it because they were like, when I was around them before, they were so, like, they really did fuck with each other. But I think too much has happened between them since.
Yeah, and I do think I did watch Ultimate Girls Trip. It was the first installment of it. And their friendship was tested, and they even said it was tested during that time. And I don't think things were the same with that. But before I let you guys go, I do want to read Kenya Moore's final statement and to get your thoughts on this. So Kenya posted this on her Instagram with a with the montage video of her at her hair spa. Kenya said, and I quote, "You have been my besties for the last 12 years, and I love and appreciate you so much. Last year, you cried with me when all of my hard work from the salon was cut by production and none of it was shown. I want to thank all of my friends who showed up for me and who support me on a regular basis, who love me down. Miss Lawrence, thank you for gracing us with your presence. You're a star. I hope to turn our segment into a TV show, God willing." She thanked her event planner, Events by Monet. She thanked the gorgeous models. She also said to the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, "I wish you all an incredible season. To my friends and family, thanks for loving me, flaws and all. Thank you to all the stunning women who have patronized Kenya Moore Hair Spa. I love making you look beautiful. Love and blessings to all of you."
That's good. That's good. I like the piece that she added in about wishing the cast a successful season. You know, that's the kind of energy we want to see from Kenya. Again, I'm a person who think it's fucked up that she was released. I think she deserves to be there and needs to be there to complete the story. So I don't think she deserved to be released from the series, and I want to see her make her way back. Hopefully, that's my hope.
I think this statement sounds like someone that knows she's never coming back.
Damn, Claudia.
Honestly, that's what that sounds like. That she sounds to me defeated. It sounds like I'm trying to put on a strong front, like, okay, but you know, I wish y'all the best. Like the language to me, like it sounds like a goodbye, like a final goodbye. That doesn't sound like, you know, Kenya leaves little breadcrumbs, like, you know, you never know. There's none of that in the statement. It does feel like it's a wrap forever. But Kenya does have the personality to do something else on her own, another show on her own. I hope she does do that. But it does sound like we're not getting her back. And I do feel like, you know, we're going to be disappointed. I will eat my words if I'm wrong, you know, but I do feel like this is a goodbye. And it is kind of like weird to me that the one that talked about the gun didn't really get held accountable. Yes, Kenya should have been held accountable, but one-sided accountability is not really accountability. It's favoritism.
Do you think it felt final because it was her last episode this season, though? Because I sense the final nature of the tone of the message. But in my mind, and maybe you can help me with how I'm looking at this, but it didn't feel like I'm not on this show. Maybe the for 12 seasons part or whatever. But I just felt like that was a message to close off her participation in this season. But you're saying you feel like it means she's done with the show forever. That's the feeling you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what just my opinion. But I'm wrong once or twice a year. So, you know, I'm just saying. But I don't know, you know, but
Look,
I feel like twice a year. It does feel like, again, I just think it's a bad message to like put out there
I get what
production, like certain things, the things that they seem to not get people suspended or fired gets allowed. That to me is scarier. Y'all can take that how you want to, but you know, this not to take away. And I know some people like you're defending her. I'm not defending Kenya. I've said it multiple times. It's wrong. She ruined her own moment. It hurt herself. Why make your moment about your salon about this bitch so you don't even know her? And I'm not saying bitch like I'm calling bitch. I'm just saying how we talk sometimes. You know, it took away from your moment. Like if I'm getting an award for something, I'm not going to give someone that I don't like my moment when it should all be about celebrating me. And I think that was a huge miscalculation. Like y'all said, she probably thought that was going to jump off the salon and make, ooh, this is where that happened. That epic scene happened. And it didn't work out like that for her. And I do think it was a miscalculation. I think it was wrong. It wasn't good. And Kenya is smarter than that. That's why I'm still surprised that she did this. She could have done this so many other ways, but hey, we don't know. And we also, and the reason why I brought up her other issues on the show, like her being attacked and all the other things and stuff she had to live with for years, you hiring men to be on the show. She's been humiliated for many, many years on the show. Okay. So I guess that's why sometimes I give it a little bit like, I'm not making excuses. I just like to get into people's mind, like what would make someone or how would this make me feel if I was that person?
I get exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and please don't mistake that for me making excuses for people. I just am into the psychology of why people do and what headspace they are in to make them do these things. It's easy to sit on our couches eating our popcorn, never in these situations, say, well, she should have done this. And well, you haven't been there where you talk, you be vulnerable about your mother. People clown you for that. You be vulnerable about your love life. You marry this guy, you get clowned for that. You get punished by the network for not sharing your marriage. You get physically assaulted on a stage. They don't suspend the other girl, and you get clowned and you get your ass beat on TV. Like many, many, many things over many, many years, she's had to eat, right? Does that justify her doing this to someone else? No, but I'm trying to get her mindset of
somebody else eating on these posters, huh?
What you say?
She said somebody else gonna be eating on these posters.
Right. I'm just thinking, did she snap? Did she say, you know what, that's it? I don't know, but I'm trying to get into the headspace. Just like with Brit, like
the network's dick.
What'd you say?
She was like, I'm tired of having to suck the network's dick. Then it hit her like,
right. But she had to, that wasn't an in the moment thing. She had to find those pictures, get an investigator, print those pictures up, pick the size of the poster board, the thickness, no pun intended, all those things and present them. And then she still had many chances to get off the off ramp to abort mission, and she didn't. So I want to know, I'm curious as to the mindset of what made her finally say, that's it, I'm going to go to this level and be extreme.
Yeah, and that's the reason why. Listen, I don't know what Kenya plans on doing in terms of doing interviews or anything after this, but I will implore people to watch her Tamron Hall interview because she did talk about a lot of this to Claudia, and I think the other thing too is it was at the moment of her Tamron Hall interview, it was still fresh. I don't know how many months afterwards. It was a few months afterwards, but it was still fresh for her. And I think that's why you should watch it. Not you, but like people should watch it because it will give you some ideas of how she feels. But look, I think at the end of the day, Kenya Moore is meant to be on somebody's television screen, whether it's continuing on with the show or doing other things. This is not the last you'll see of Kenya
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Are you gonna interview her again? After this?
She needs to come on here with us. Tell her to bring her ass on next Monday. She can come up here and talk about the show.
Did you already interview her? You're not telling us, and that's gonna be the one you drop next Monday.
Oh, please. First of all, I'm dropping one. I'm dropping an interview tomorrow.
Is it Kenya Moore? Is it Kenya Moore hair care? He's not answering, Dustin. You see that?
You guys are so funny. Anyways, Claudia, Dustin, is there anything else you want to talk about your fans in terms of supporting you? Stuff you have going on?
Did you interview Kenya?
No, I have not interviewed Kenya.
Will you? Can we get that? I think you'd be great for that.
Listen, I love you more than you know, and that's very sweet of you to say. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We'll see you for part 2 of your interview with her. But yeah. No, just catch the Friend Zone podcast every Wednesday, everywhere podcasts are heard. Catch me and my baby, Ebony K. Williams, on Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams on Wednesdays and Fridays. Now we drop 2 times a week. And go see my sister Claudia Jordan in Games People Play. Her killing it in, and you look really good on your press run too, Claudia. You did.
You really did.
I lost 10 pounds, so thank you very much. Catch me on Wednesdays on Accidentally Informed. I'm so sad I didn't shout out the podcast last week. I was just thinking about the play and everything. Erica, we love Erica. We all gotta hang out though. We gotta do this. Maybe when we all go see Carlos, we can double date when we go see Carlos in that one city.
I'm with it.
You said not to say the city, but you know who you are if you're watching. Whatever city you live in is the city I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out the show. We
I'll text you for tickets.
Yes, and the Accidentally Informed on Wednesdays. Please, we got to run that. We're just starting off. We're going to run those numbers up. And Games Women Play. We are in Detroit this weekend, and we are in Columbus, Ohio on Sunday, and then we'll be in Atlanta soon. So, yeah.
Congratulations, friend.
Thank you so much.
You guys are doing so well. And I want to say this because obviously I'm not going to see you guys until next week. But Raindrops, please do me a favor and wish Claudia and Dustin a happy birthday.
Oh, my God. I forgot it's my birthday.
Both of their birthdays are happening this week. Dustin's on Thursday. Claudia's on Saturday. Happy birthday to Claudia Jordan and Dustin Ross. I want to say this while I have you. You two are a light in my life. I love you guys so much. Man. And y'all know that. Thank you for coming on this crazy ass show to work with me. I've been having the time of my life with the two of you. You two mean the world to me. Not only just as people I get to work with on a regular basis, but in real life, your friendship means the world to me. You two are beautiful people inside and out. Definitely on the out too, child, because y'all turn heads. But more importantly, you two are just good people. And I always tell people, you two are going to make it super duper big one day. Not that you're not big now, but I think the sky is the limit when it comes to the two of you. And I mean that not only as a personal friend, but as a professional person in this business. I think the sky is the limit for the two of you. And my hope for your birthday year, that God continues to bless you guys with abundance and prosperity and love. Man. And you two deserve the world. And I'm so happy that I get a front seat at the amazing work you guys do on a regular basis. I love the two of you so much.
That it's same. I feel the same way. And it's so crazy how we're all kind of tethered to each other through the Real Housewives of Atlanta experience. I met you, Carlos, at the what was that spot?
The Abbey.
The Abbey in LA. And you said, I'm going to change your life. And you did. And a lot of men that usually tell me that are lying. So the fact that you said it and meant it, I have a thing with abandonment and about being disappointed in people. I believe in people because I'm so honest about things. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So when I usually expect people to let me down, and you didn't. So thank you for that. And because of you putting me in position, I came across this amazing YouTuber because in the midst of seeing other people talking shit about my feed and saying, you coming for Nene, you're doing this, you're doing that, I saw this brilliant man doing commentary, and his commentary was different than everybody else's. And I sent him a DM, a message, and we have been real friends ever since. So it's like a full circle moment. And I adore both of you, Dustin. The fact that you're two Aries and a Libra. First of all, Aries and Libra is on the opposite. Like we attract, like, you know that, right? Like we're in the opposites of the zodiac, but we like, we're like this. And I'm blessed. I appreciate, I don't know what made you ask me coming here the first time. That's led to like 5 weeks of this, but every time you ask me to come back, it's like almost like, you know, getting booked for something again. And I appreciate it. And I love doing this with you all. So thank you. Y'all both mean a lot to me. And Carlos, put your producer hat on and get us to Miami because the fans are here for it. They want to definitely. I hope you have the best birthday this week too.
Thank you, friend. I hope you do too. I ain't even gonna wax poetic and shit and make this long and drawn out. I got a hell of a lot of love for both of y'all. Both of y'all have been real friends to me, really stuck your necks out for me, had my back, put my names in rooms, did shit you did not have to do, hinged my name to your professional reputation, and fucked with me in real life as a friend. And to me, that's the ultimate expression of love. So I just hope y'all feel it back from me. We're going to keep doing this thing together, and we're going to end up on a set somewhere with coffee mugs and cards in front of our hands, popping our shit about these hot topics on the set. So from our mouths to God's ears, much love to you, Claudia. You know how much I love you. Have a wonderful birthday. Of course, I'll talk to you before then.
Vegas, if y'all want to come out.
You already know what it is, y'all. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Niggas.
Love you.
Love y'all. All right. Bye, Claudia. Bye, Joe. Love y'all. Love y'all. Raindrops. Thank y'all so much. So look, I'm doing a lot of traveling this week. I have an exclusive interview I'm dropping tomorrow. So make sure you guys check it out. I may drop it earlier than noon because I'm traveling. You may get it at 9 a.m. I may drop it at 9 a.m. tomorrow. No, I'm not. No. It'll be noon. I am traveling tomorrow, but my flight that's early is on Wednesday, child. Whatever. I'm confused. Live television. Okay. My exclusive interview drops tomorrow at noon. And it's with a woman who is the talk of the town. And make sure you check out my newsletter too, y'all. I love y'all. They say drop it tonight. I can't take y'all. I'm dropping it tomorrow at noon. Maybe I'll do it earlier. Let me call my people. I'm in a good mood. I'll do it. I'll try to see if I can do it earlier. Okay. But that's why you got to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. The notification is back. Carlos is back. And I will see y'all next week. Love y'all. Bye. Love and Mash Detroit premiere Saturday, 8 o'clock on OWN.